What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today we'll be doing a deck profile on the Dragon World of 5th Omnis from the brand new set XBT-04. So this is a brand new variant of 5th Omnis. Previously we also have this variant which is the size 3 variant, and we are back to it right now. So we no longer play drum with this deck. You can still play drum if you want to, because Arkaid can make drum into a size 0, but I'm focusing on the size 3 build because as you guys know, that size 3s usually have the best effect in the game, and having the ability to call 2 of them on the field and triggering it by taking damage is so good. So the pros and cons of this deck is, the pros is most of size 3 5th Omnis have great effects. So whenever you use stuff that deal self-damage or get attacked by opponent monsters, you'll be getting a lot of pluses from a single effect. Now, a disadvantage of this deck is it does not have a lot of draw power, but nonetheless, this is a really tanky deck, and every monster you caught is definitely going to be there for the right value, because 5th Omni is a deck that is specialized on being mid shields. Since you won't be the core monsters in the center, since it's a Gao formation deck, they are very good mid shields, because whenever you take damage by an attack, you trigger a lot of pluses like healing and stuff. So most of the time your opponent will mostly attack your monsters. So I guess the cons is not really there, but nonetheless it's a really fun deck to play, and I recommend you guys to try it. Without further ado, let's get a deck profile. So 4 copies of Arkaid, size 3 Arkaid. Call cost, pay 2 gauge and put the top card of the deck. So when you're dealt damage, put the top card of the deck into the gauge and gain 1 life. Then it's your turn, you can draw 1 card and call 1 5th Omni from your hand to the field and it treats it as a size 0. So you still have to pay call cost. So one good tip from me is, when you attack with Arkaid, during battle phase, I recommend you to try to delay her damage dealt skill until you attack with a monster. So let's say for example, you have this already on the field, but from previous turn, you attack with him, double attack, use Arkaid's, use maybe something like Drago Guts. Drago Guts to trigger her skill, then maybe you can call another copy, then you can double attack again. And also use their abilities, which is freaking amazing. So yeah, if you could delay the damage deal, you try to, if Arkaid's on the field. Otherwise, even during your opponent's turn, you can also charge and gain 1 life, which is really good. She has double attack, she has Soul Guard. Simply an amazing unit and gives you a new way to play 5th Omnis, which I really like. So 4 copies Arkaid. I'll be going through some of the combos later on, so stay tuned. 4 copies of Dobo, P-Foil. Yes, P-Foil one. So Dobo is a very classic good card. Basically, he helps you control the gauge game. So for example, you're playing against Thunder Empire, they start off with 1 gauge, and that is not very good for them, because if you were to go first, you call Dobo and use Drago Guts or something like Drago Wisdom, you'll be able to steal one of your opponent's gauge and charge one of your own gauge. Then the Thunder Empire will have 0 gauge, which is devastating for them. Then even during your turn, if they were to charge and draw, they charge, you can actually counter with like maybe Drago Desperate or Drago Guts and steal off another gauge, and they will be screwed. Unless they manage to draw their combo pieces, which is their Spear and Tomoshin combo. They won't have any gauge for the rest of the turn, and they can't equip weapons, which is very dangerous for Thunder Empire. So this is a very good control card. Back then, if you're playing size 3 base decks and you pay a lot of gauge, these cards automatically shut down Atora and many of the size 3 base decks. So fantastic card. It has double attack as well and Soul Guard, so it's not so weak against removals. So 4 copies because he's MVP in size 3 base decks. 4 copies of Arkaid. I see that they actually changed the name in DJEP. Ariato, but it's actually Arkaid in its size 3 form. This is another one of those cards that gives you a lot of defense and is being a mid shield. One thing great about 5th Omnis is that they are very good mid shields, because for example, having Arkaid on the field means your opponent most likely won't attack your life points directly, because Arkaid will heal back the 2 damage whenever it takes, so might as well just attack Arkaid. So calling Arkaid and Arkaid onto the field, most likely your opponent will not even attack you at all, because if they're able to attack you, charge 1 gauge, gain 1 life, then you can gain 2 life, which is like, why not just attack monsters? So really good to cycle your monsters in this deck. So yeah, Arkaid is there, and Arkaid is double attack and penetrate. So when you're dealt damage, you can gain 2 life, and for this turn, this card gains penetrate, so it's great against center base decks as well. So 4 copies of Arkaid. Alright, next is 2 copies of Tech in Ice Spear Marak. XBT Rock also is got in size 3 form. I play this because it is good against the Atora matchup, and it's generally a very good card as well. If you guys want to play more Ice Spear Marak, it's fine. Call cost, top card into soul, then pay 2 gauge. when you are dealt damage, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and for this turn, damage dealt to you is reduced by 1. Really good because, for example, before they even start attacking, you could use Drago Desperate, or maybe Tembu Shield. You take 1 damage to yourself, you do 1 damage to them, and any incoming attacks or any burn damage due to you will be reduced by 1. Really good because even if they want to poke with 2 crit, like Butts 2 crit, 2 crit, 2 crit, 2 crit, it'll be 1 crit, 1 crit, 1 crit. Especially, it is very good against Chaos deck because it has Penetrate and double attack as well. And it is also, I play 2 because it is great against a Tora matchup. If you do damage to yourself already, you can reduce all those small overturn damage by 1, so you pretty much don't take any damage and they won't be able to impact you most likely. Even they will impact, this deck has a lot of life gains, so you can a lot easily escape the impact. So yeah, yes, Penetrate, Soga, double attack, very good card. Personally, I might bump him up because of the Chaos matchup. It's good, it's fantastic against Chaos. Alright, for size 0s, he is a size 0 monster. As long as you have a size 2 and above 5th Omni on the field, he becomes a size 0. So he is very important in the deck. He is a staple in all 5th Omni decks because he has a counter ability. Choose an Armor Dragon on the field, and for this turn, it gains plus 1k attack, 1k defense, and the Penetrate ability. So you could make your Arkaid into a Penetrate monster, which is good. And you take 1 damage. That's the most important thing because he is basically an activator for your turn and your opponent's turn. And mostly he is the one that's gonna die first because he is the MVP of any 5th Omni deck. Anytime activated is so deadly because, for example, chaining to your opponent's effects so they won't be able to counter is one of those plays. So yeah, MVP in this deck, definitely play 4. Yeah. Alright, let's go on to the spells. So for the spells, we play 4 copies of Drago Guts. This is the old art from, I believe, Buddy All-Stars, and this is from the Evolution and Mutation set, which is the alternate art double rare. I don't understand why you make it a double rare, but I guess it's cool. Cast cost, you take 1 damage, which allows you to trigger a lot of good stuff, and you gain 3 life, so pretty much you're gaining 2 life instantly. But think about this, playing this deck gives you so much advantage. Right now, taking damage to yourself gives you so much advantage, which is crazy. That's why I find that I kind of need to play more of these self-damaging cards. Alright, for example, let's say you have an item. You have this, this is your standard formation. Arkaid cord is to size 0, so you get like double swing. During your opponent's turn, you cast Drago Guts. You take one damage. Okay, you take 1 damage, but this card heals back 1 damage, so you don't take any damage. And you gain 3 life. You gain 1 life from effect and charge 1 gauge, and you gain 2 more life. So that's a total of gaining 6 life from 1 single card, and you can charge gauge as well. So imagine 1 card for gaining 6 life is amazing, simply amazing. So Drago Guts is definitely a must play, and because it is a card that activates anytime, I find him really important for the deck because he does not say that you have to be in battle and stuff. Alright, so yeah. 3 copies of Drago Wisdom. Drago Wisdom is basically charge and draw for you. So take 1 damage, trigger all your good stuff, and charge and draw. Basically draw engine. You could play 4 if you want to, but 3 is fine for me. 1 copy of Drago Bright. Drago Bright is card from Evolution Mutation. You take 1 damage and you can charge 1 gauge, then take 1 card back from the Absorb Zone and add to your hand. So one combo you like to use is you have Arkaid on the field. Use this, you charge 1 gauge, then you can add 1 of your 5th Omnis that has died the previous turn, maybe in the Arkaid. And you can charge, then you can charge and draw. You may not draw the monster sometimes, so this doesn't guarantee you a monster, you can call that monster out. So yeah. It combos really well with Arkaid, but just testing, and I think one is fine because we have so many good cards in 5th Omnis, which I'm really confused on what to play and what not to. Now we go through some defensive spells. We play 4 copies of Lord Dragon Shield, Tembu Shield. The reason why I play this card is because of the deal 1 damage ability. Dealing 1 damage right now, as previously mentioned, is has a lot of pluses. So I believe one point of time actually no one played this card because there are stuff like Blade Shields which you can play if you want to. But I really find Tembu Shield really good in this meta because right now the amount of pluses you get from single damage dealing is so good, and sometimes there are turns that I do not have any shields that can deal damage to myself. I feel really sad. The only few cards that can deal damage yourself is Drago Guts and Drago Desperate, which allows you to activate effects during your opponent's turn. So Nullified attack, you take 1 damage, and this card can be nullified, so your opponent can use spell nows against this card. This is very good. 4 copies of Blue Dragon Shield, still the best Dragon Shield. Charge 1 gauge, simply. 3 copies of Drago Desperate. Drago Desperate is simply amazing in this meta because Butts is a very, very troublesome card. Even though I play the deck, I don't really like Butts because he has triple attack with 10 crits, and I find that card kind of unhealthy. This card instantly shut down Butts. Triple attack won't be able to trigger because once a card is rested, you basically did not attack, so you won't trigger a double attack and triple attack. So it's really good against Butts, but however, it is not good against Chaos. So if you guys wanna side deck, basically side this out for stuff like 3 copies of Drago Trap. I play this Drago Trap because Drago Trap is one of the best Dragon World negates we have. So cast cost, pay 1 gauge and 2 life. Life is not an issue in this deck because we gain a lot of life gain with Drago Guts. And so this is one card that can actually see a lot of good play in. So a counter, choose a card on the opponent's field, and for this turn that card cannot attack. So this card is actually really good against Chaos because Chaos have cards that have on battle abilities. For example, if you attack with Edward the Chaos, he will be able to charge and draw and gain 1 life, which is something you don't want to happen. So don't even let that happen with Drago Trap. And the art is so cute. Yeah, I just love the art. It's cute. So 3 copies of Butts X Link. This is personal preference. Since you easily attack 5 times with this deck with the Arkaid combo, Butts X Link is pretty much life most of the time. Giving you a charge 2 gauge, gain 1 life, and drawing a card among 3 is so good. So I play this. You guys can play other stuff. Personal preference. You can use this as a filler. I've used this as a filler actually. 2 copies of Thunder Extract. Oh, but card protagonist. Why do you use this card? It is a Thunder Empire card. Nope. Yes, it is a Thunder Empire card, and you can only search for Thunder Empire items, and that's the main point. Because Thunder Empire has the item that can't be destroyed, so I actually play this. And his secondary ability, he has 2 abilities. One is to fetch an item from it to your hand in case you don't have an item, and secondly, pull up to 1 impact or Dragon World monster from your drop zone to your hand. This is really important because 5th Omni must always die, and you want to retrieve them back to your hand. And for example, stuff like Arkaid, they always kill it, so you want to always get it. He has a secondary option, so instead of drawing a dead item in your hand, you could actually use this, or even early, if starting on the game, you could actually just use such an item, which is not that bad. So this is personal attack, so you guys will play. Why I play this set, because if you're fighting against stuff like toilets, they're the stuff that keep breaking your item for days. So trust me, if you're playing against toilet, just instantly search for this item and just equip it, and you save yourself the trouble. So speaking of items, we play 1 copy of Arcdragon Sword, 1 gauge, and this card can be destroyed, and all Thunder Empire monsters on the field give us 2k, which is irrelevant. But nonetheless, you have a 6k 2 crit attacker, so it's really good, and you can search out with this. So yeah, consistency. 2 copies of Shiny Dragon. Shiny Dragon is a feast item from Evolution Mutation. Personally, I kind of prefer the 3 crit item, but in certain matchups this is actually better because he has the ability to gain plus 3k power, so he became a 6k beat stick. And sometimes you just want to get that gauge. If you be dealt 3 or greater damage, the damage you reduce by 1, that actually includes impacts. So if you're being damaged by impact, you can reduce the damage by 1. It does not say better damage, so any effect damage that you, even like shadow shades with their weird burn damage, you can reduce that by 1, so it's not bad. So these 2 you could play depending on matchup. So some matchup I actually search this item out. If you're fighting against heavy beaters, you definitely get this, and if you're fighting against standard, just get this for more offensive power. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile on the 5th Omni Arkaid deck. Be sure to add me on Facebook and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys are looking for decks and Buddyfight singles, be sure to check out www.buddy-mart.com to support me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.